So what happens then if we don't have the same number in front of either letter in our pair of equations? At first glance, this looks very similar to what we've done previously in part 1. But if we were to add or subtract this pair of equations, we would still end up with both x and y in the new equation that we created. And the whole purpose of the adding or subtracting is to get rid of one of those letters. So what do we do in this situation then? Well, we're in a similar position to if we wanted to add fractions that didn't have the same denominators. We need to make them have the same denominators. And here, where we don't have the same number in front of x or y, what we need to do is make it so that they do. All right, now you can choose to make x have the same number in front, or you can choose to make y have the same number in front. It's up to you, whichever looks easier to you. All right, now I'm choosing to make y have the same number in front of it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this first equation by this number here, the number in front of y in the other equation. So I'm going to multiply everything in the top line by 2. So 5x times 2 is 10x. And I'm going to take away 2 lots of 3y, that's 6y, and that's going to give me 2 lots of 26 is 52. So everything in that top line I have multiplied by 2. And the bottom line, I'm going to multiply everything in this by this number, the number in front of y in the other equation. So I'm going to have 3 lots of everything here. So 3 lots of 4x is 12x. I'm going to add 3 lots of 2y, that's 6y. And that's going to be equal to 3 lots of 12, that's 36. So everything in the second equation is multiplied by 3. And now you can see I have got the same number in front of y in both equations. If I'd multiplied the top equation by 4 and the bottom equation by 5, then I'd have 20x in both equations and I could eliminate x. But what I'm going to be doing now is eliminating y, the variable with the same number in front of it in both equations. And I'm going to remember same signs subtract. Well, y doesn't have the same signs in front of it, so I'm going to be adding the top line to the bottom line. So I've got 10x, add 12x makes 22x. I've got negative 6y, add 6y, that gives me nothing. And so I've got no y's. If I ended up with both x and y, I'd have gone wrong, wouldn't I? I need there just to be the one letter on this line. And here, 52, add 36, makes 88. So 22x is 88. My number times 22 is 88. I don't want it times 22. Get rid of the times 22. How? By dividing by 22 on both sides. So x is 4. And hopefully you'll know where to go from here because it's the same as in part 1. The only thing that's different is this first step where I created 2 new equations. So this bit, it's like the same as in part 1. So if you weren't confident on that, go back and have a look at the video. So what do I do next? I substitute x equals 4 into whichever equation I think looks easier to work with. I'm going with 4x add 2y equals 12, because it's got no minus signs in it. I'm much more likely to make a mistake if I have minus signs to deal with. So this is 4x, so that's 4 times 4. So that's 16. Copying everything else. My number times by 2 and add 16 makes 12. I don't want the add 16, get rid of it. How do you get rid of add 16? You take away 16. Getting lots of practice on solving equations now, aren't we? Okay, so I've got 12 take away 16. Two approaches here. I could say 12 take away 12 gets me to 0, and I've still got 4 to take away, so that's going to bring me to negative 4. Or I could say the size of my answer would be 16 take away 12 is 4. I've got more negatives than positives, so the answer will be negative 4. It's up to you, whichever you feel most confident with. Right, read the equation. A number times by 2 is negative 4. I don't want the times by 2. Get rid of it. How do you get rid of times by 2? Divide by 2. Both sides. What does that leave me with? Negative 2. All right. Let's check that we're right. So, what have we got? We've got 5 times by x, that's 5 times by 4. Take away 3 times by y, that's negative 2. 5 times by 4 is 20. 3 times by 2 is 6. Minus times minus is plus. So 20 plus 6 is 26. That's correct. Sum it up. X is 4. Y is negative 2. Right. Your turn. Okay. Put some ideas down the side for you to help you out along the way. But pause the video, try and answer the question. Yeah, look back at my example if you need to. See how you get on. Right, so I'm again choosing to get rid of y. So I'm going to multiply the top equation by 2. That gives me 6x plus 6y equals 12. So that's times 2. And the bottom equation, I'm going to multiply this by 3. So that's going to give me 15x take away 6y equals 93. And same sign subtract. I haven't got the same signs, so I am going to be adding. So 6x add 15x gives me 21x. 6y add negative 6y is nothing. Good, I've only got x, I haven't got y as well. 12 add 93, that is 105. My number times 21 is 105. So my number then will be, divide by 21, comes out as 5. Okay. So then substitute x equals 5 into whichever equation you prefer. I'm going to go for the second one, even though it's harder, just so you see what it looks like. Okay, so I'm going into 5x take away 2y equals 31. I generally wouldn't recommend this because we're going to have to deal with negative numbers, but see what it's like. So you'll probably have something different here because you've been sensible and you've gone for the first equation. So I've got 5 times 5 take away 2y is 31. Simplify that, 25 take away 2y equals 31. Now, my number has been doubled and taken away from 25, right? I don't want it taken away from 25, so I'm going to get rid of that, okay? It's gone. How did I get rid of that being taken away from 25? Well, by adding it back in. Add it on that side, I must add it on this side. So that gives me 31 add 2y. Now that's better. That's nicer. Now I've got my number times 2 and add 31. I don't want the times by 2, get rid of that. Sorry, I don't want the add 31. Get rid of that by taking away 31 from both sides. That gives me negative 6. I don't want my number times by 2, so get rid of the times by 2, divide by 2, both sides, and you get negative 3 here. Y is negative 3, hopefully you got that. Okay, check. Well, in the other equation, I've got 3 times by x, which is 5, add 3 times by y, which is negative 3. That gives me 15, take away 9, that is 6, which is correct. Sum it up. X is 5, y is negative 3. Okay. I'm going to stop there, save this video getting too long. So I haven't written a summary. It's at the end of the next video, which is it's the same as this, but slightly harder. So yeah, you go away and have a go at some questions, and if need be, come back and watch the next video. Okay, bye for now.